Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeffrey, and today I wanted to discuss because before I had mentioned that I graduated from UCLA with a Bachelor of Arts in History and a minor in Political Science, and I got some bad reactions. I think it's like how I feel about the situation to some videos I made about politics. So I decided at the moment I don't want to continue with politics. But history, I think, is fine. And I wanted to make a difference happen, in my mind at least, and maybe in some of you that are viewing, in is religion or are religions history? I think history is a part of what religions are, and possibly vice versa, because humans tend to track what is relevant to them. And I just wanted to bring something up. This isn't a political point, but I'm very anti-war. I do not believe to kill. I believe in the Ten Commandments. And I just, since I did study politics, but I'm talking about it from a historical perspective. That's my intention, at least, even if it doesn't end up being the case. There's a difference between a cold war and a hot war, or like heating up a war. And as we know, basically, I don't know what the issue is with the U.S. Congress, but at the moment, a nation in history that Englishmen had brought about, which is the United States of America, from what is now the United Kingdom, is at war, essentially. I don't know about the legal situation, but is at war with essentially Iran. Now they're saying it's with the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is a government, but that might still be the case at this point. But I wanted to bring up the issue of nuclear weapons because President Donald Trump recently, I believe, I saw on YouTube, he called Iran, or the government of Iran, the Islamic Republic of Japan. And I don't know if he did that intentionally or if it was unintentional, like a Freudian slip or whatever it may be. I don't understand psychology that well. But yeah, so Japan was in the 1940s in World War II. They were bombed in many locations, as far as I understand, and as far as my knowledge has me able to explain. But they were also, because I believe they didn't give up. I think that's how I was explained to about the situation when I was at UCLA. They were also bombed with a nuclear detonation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, two different cities. And I believe that brought about unconditional surrender, which is something that I think has been brought up by President Donald Trump. I should mention, I didn't want to bring it up, and okay, I'm not bringing it up for political reasons, even if I kind of am. I was a Democrat from, I guess, when I was born until my late 20s, when I became a Republican. And I don't mean like on a record Republican, just, in my heart, in my mind, in my hands. And I am very, very happy that the case is this. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and the abolition of slavery, and unfortunately the American Civil War, but the abolition of slavery was sort of, you could say, like relative to the Republican Party. And I became a Republican for a different reason, but anyways, so I just wanted to bring that up. If I remember correctly, President Truman, who was a Democrat, was the president of the United States when Hiroshima and Nagasaki, two different nuclear detonations, happened in Japan during World War II. So you could essentially say the presidency, the branch of government, which is, the executive branch, was controlled by Democrats. Now, I hope there's never again a nuclear detonation on humans or for any reason. I don't know what the situation is with weapons. I haven't studied war and militaries that much. I just studied like politics and history, which is different. Like I didn't go to like West Point or anything like that. Though I did go to law school. I went to 3 different law schools. So, though that's different. It's not irrelevant. That's incorrect. It's not irrelevant. Law is relevant to militaries. and to warfare, but it's different than militaries and warfare. Law is something different, and legal understanding is something different, even if it's necessary. Okay, so I wanted to bring up religions, and I'm a little stronger in the Holy Bible understanding with because I'm not that great with the Holy Bible, and I have to get better with Christian understanding and what God is allowing us. I believe in God. What God is allowing us to understand through the Holy Bible. My background is Middle Eastern. I did an ancestry DNA test like I think a decade ago approximately, and I'm from what is now 4 different nations in the Middle East. In terms of my genome, I think that's what the result was, or this is what the result was. And it's my genome background spans from basically the west side of the Middle East to the east side of the Middle East. And it's more skewed in one direction than the other direction. My hands might be going in like different directions. I'm facing south, this is west, and this is east, so I might have been going in the wrong direction with my hands, but I hope you understand my intention with words. Anyways, so I'm better with the Old Testament because I guess I have a better understanding about the Jews and different prophets. I don't believe in prophets, I believe in God only, but I do believe humans have been allowed to be prophets by God. I believe it is appropriate to actually take heed of who they were and what they did. I have a decent grasp of very little, okay? When I say decent, I should say very little. But I have a decent grasp of Judaism, I have a decent grasp of Islam, and I have a decent grasp of Christianity. Set it out of order in terms of like time, in terms of when they were sort of revealed to us. If you look at like prophets and different like books and writing. But so like sort of Judaism and then Christianity and then Islam. And I don't refer to them as the Abrahamic religions. They are, in my opinion, God's allowance of religions. Abraham to me was a human prophet. So I understand the term like Abrahamic religions, but that's not, in my opinion, correct. And it might not be opinion, it might be a matter of fact or not. Though I know there's like the Abraham Accords now, but I don't want to get into politics. So I have 2 Bibles. The first Bible, I forget where I have it. It's on the table in front of me. But the second Bible I was given to by a chaplain when my mother was passing away. I had requested some Christian prayers because I just wanted any type of prayer that would help. I was hoping my mother would enter heaven after her life, and I was at the point when I had the Bible given to me, it was like fairly certain she would be passing and she would enter the end of her life. So this was my concern, and I have the New International Version of the Holy Bible is in my closet in my room, and this was the recent one I was given by the chaplain. I was thankfully I was given I don't know what you'd call it, but I was given a good amount of like moments with 2 different chaplains in the hospital when my mother was passing away, basically. And they were both very helpful to me, and they really helped calm me down. Though I have also, let me check the exact name. This is the Bible I've had for like a very long time compared to the newer one, though like not for like that long. Okay, so this Bible that I have, which I think is really cool, is the Holman Christian Standard Bible, Red Letter Edition. So if you can see, I don't know if you can read this, but Christian Standard Bible. Okay, I don't think this, okay, I don't know too much. I know I studied history and this should be pretty embarrassing for me, but I don't know that much or like too much about different versions of the Bible. I don't think this is the same as the King James Version, which is like, as far as where I live, I was born in America. I'm familiar with, or like I'm coming from a perspective of what the King James Version is the most like popular we hear about, I think. And there are like many denominations of Christians that live around where I'm from. You know, you have Baptists. I shouldn't get into too many details, but there are several different types. I bring up Baptists because of I was thinking about John the Baptist earlier. But anyways, so I wanted to talk about Book of Revelation in the New Testament. In this version I have, because I looked online and I believe there are different explanations. There's like different writing in the King James Version. It's like, what I'm specifically going to talk about is the 666, which I think is the mark of the beast, if I understand. And the beast is like a man. I'm still working on this. I'm not trying to take it lightly. Though what I'm talking about specifically is, I believe, Book of Revelation, which I think is the last book of the New Testament. And I'm talking about chapter 13. I don't know how to say it exactly, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Revelation 13:18. Yes, okay, I have it correct. So I'm gonna read what I have here, which I think is different in the King James Version, though I don't have a copy of the King James Version. Okay, here is wisdom. The one who has understanding must calculate the number of the beast, because it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Okay, or like 666. And I don't know if this is going to be visible on here, but this is, can you see this? Okay, and it might look like backwards or something, but yeah, number 18 right there, and then all the way to the end where it says 666 and has the footnote, or like whatever you call it, with the X. Okay, so I just thought of something, and this might sound political, but I think this is possibly a historical argument. This war is dragging on. I believe in the Ten Commandments. I believe, you could say, in Judaism. I believe in Christianity, and I believe in Islam. And therefore, I believe in the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. And I might be at various points doing things incorrectly as far as the Ten Commandments, which I understand. Like, one thing I was thinking of to tell you guys. So with my hair like this, if you look on Google, depending on where you are, and you look at a picture of Saul or Saint Paul of Tarsus, I believe, he was a Roman citizen, he was a Jew though, and he went from, I don't mean to make a graven image is my point, as far as the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, but I feel like I look like a fat version of Saint Paul, in a sense. There's like a specific like drawing or like art that I saw, which I saw, and I felt like I look like him a lot, or he looks like me, depending on, you know, how you would say it. Though anyways, I don't want to make like a graven image because I believe he was beheaded in Rome. And of course he was a very important person as far as the New Testament, which I'm not good at memorizing, but I think this is the case. Yeah, I think he wrote a lot. I'm not trying to take this lightly. I take a long time to study and to learn and memorize things which are important to me. So that's why I say that. And I'm a little better with the Old Testament than I am with the New Testament. And it just requires me some more study. Okay, anyways, so why do I bring this up with the Holy Bible? So I would say, if everybody's gonna just be okay with war and killing and what's happening, why not just go straight to a number which had a lot of significance for me, which like sort of terrifies me at times, or scares me, or causes me to have fear, among other words to describe the reality. But 666. So there were two nuclear weapons detonated in Japan, essentially. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were the names of the cities, I believe, in the 1940s. Now, why would we not on Earth, instead of possibly threatening, because Donald Trump had mentioned the end of a civilization. When I was about to go to the Philippines and I was in the airport, I read the news that Donald Trump had said something to the effect of a civilization will end if we don't have like a deal or something. So I was saying this, if the civilization he was explaining were the Iranians, not just Persia, though possibly he meant Persia, though Iranians are like a different, not a different, they're a mix, or like, they're living among each other in a nation, and they are different peoples, not peoples, but like humans, let's say. I'm not saying they're not people, just different humans, and they have different genome. So why not, instead of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and Donald Trump had mentioned, like I believe I read in the news, that 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded if the president is to be like killed or like assassinated or something on Iran. Why not just bring this up? Remember, I don't want anyone to die. I am an American citizen. I was born in the US. I really care a lot about what America did in World War II, especially in Europe, anti-Adolf Hitler. Not to get into too many details, but of course it has to do with the Jews. I don't want to ever have had the Holocaust happen, though I think, in my limited understanding, better America have assisted the Holocaust to end earlier, if this was actually the case, once it had begun, or once the Holocaust had begun. So I don't want to say anything anti-American, and my intention is to sort of discourage war, or at the least to discourage the use of, and I'm holding like a Bible. I'm not begging, don't think I'm begging. Though, to sort of like disentangle this issue, why wouldn't the US or like Israel, like the Jews are different than Israel though, why not detonate 4 nuclear weapons onto Iran and make it 6 nuclear detonations by the end of the process, if there were only 4 detonated, so we could have Book of Revelation come about and you could see the beast, the mark of the beast. I think that would be something that would encourage humans who are evil and discourage humans which intend to enter heaven. So there's a difference to me between heaven and hell, though this is a historical argument, because it seems like what's happening with these nuclear weapons is the East and the West, as far as the earth, the land on the earth, is being, versus the water, is being demarcated. And so Israel is basically like next to the Atlantic Ocean, and whereas Iran is, which I think Iran is like the end of the Middle East to the east, and Israel or like Turkey are the end, or like into Arabia, but the Arabian Peninsula, but Israel and Turkey are generally toward the west end of the Middle East. So yeah, and I would say instead of the situation with Japan, where Japan stopped or like they gave an unconditional surrender, I don't remember exactly, and I should have done more research, though they stopped after the 2 nuclear weapons approximately were detonated onto the nation. I think Iran should try to continue after 4 nuclear detonations on them, and we could just bring about the end of the world, basically. So anyways, I wanted to bring up the difference between, was this a religious argument or a historical argument, or both, or just a bunch of nonsense? You probably think actually this is Not a good topic to bring up, though I'm anti-war, so I wanted to give you some, instead of food for thought, some drinking liquids for thought. Have a good one, take care, and stay away from evil. Thank you so much. Bye.